on like permanent.
They're going to bring all the kids around with me when I talk about what's in the Torah and make sure that they're actually holding things. Yeah, I think that's great. Chag Sameach, everyone.
Chag Sameach.
It is so good to have you all here for one of the most fun nights of the Jewish calendar, I think. If you do not have a booklet, please make sure you have one. They're in the back. I'm sure our ushers can bring some around. Looks like most of you have them. Tonight is all about celebration. It's about being present in the moment that we're in and enjoying the fact that we are the newest carriers of our tradition. We're going to be celebrating an ancient scroll that was really imagined and written down so many years ago, many years ago, and we're so excited that today we're going to be thinking about what's in that scroll and what it means to us, but remembering that it is up to us to keep that scroll alive, and that's exactly what we are doing this evening. So we'll have a brief service, and then we'll get to a little Torah party, and we're really excited to share it all with you. So we're going to begin right at the top of page 1.
The words are, Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah. Let us rejoice together on Simchat Torah, utnu kavod la Torah, and give honor to God's Torah. We're going to take this melody nice and slow. In case you don't know it, we'll speed it up in a moment. Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah, utnu kavod la Torah, Sisu v'simchu v'simchat Torah.
festive way to start us off this evening. We're going to continue with our candle blessing, and I would like to invite up all of our TIR teachers. You don't know this yet, but we love you, and we love learning from you. So we have quite a few of you here this evening. I see you all. Please come up to kindle our festival lights. I love it. Thank you, teachers.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offering of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, letzivanu shel yom tov.
Thank you so much to all of our teachers, especially our new 7th grade teacher, Angela. We're so glad to have you. And as they're heading back to their seats, I invite us all to rise in body or spirit for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Baruch et Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach. Le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la.
We read responsively beginning at the bottom of page 1. Deep is your love for us, abiding your compassion. From of old we have put our trust in you, and you have taught us the laws of life. Be gracious now to us, that we may understand and fulfill the teachings of your word. Enlighten our eyes in your Torah, that we may cling to your mitzvot. Unite our hearts to love and revere your name. We trust in you and rejoice in your saving power, for you are the source of our help. You have called us and drawn us near to you in faithfulness. Joyfully we lift up our voices and proclaim your unity, O God, who in love have called us to your service.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shekevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shekevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. Many generations later, redeemed from slavery, Abraham and Sarah's descendants stood at Mount Sinai. The ancient promise was to be confirmed, the ancient mandate reasserted and enlarged, the ancient covenant renewed and sealed to bind all future generations. When God revealed the Torah, no bird chirped, no fowl beat its wings, no ox bellowed, the angels did not sing, the sea did not stir, no creature uttered a sound. The world was silent and still, and the divine voice spoke, I, the eternal, am your God.
Standing at the sea, Nichamocha, standing at the sea, Nichamocha, standing at the sea, Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. Singing and dancing, Nichamocha, singing and dancing, Nichamocha, singing and dancing, Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. They're coming up behind Nichamocha, they're coming up behind Nichamocha, they're coming up behind Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. Bound no more, Nichamocha, bound no more, Nichamocha, bound no more, Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. Walking through the water, Nichamocha, walking through the water, Nichamocha, walking through the water, Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. We're on the other side, Nichamocha, we're on the other side, Nichamocha, we're on the other side, Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. One God, Nichamocha, one God, Nichamocha, one God, Nichamocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, freedom, freedom,
Sinai was only the beginning. The Torah has never ceased to grow. In every age, it has been purified and enlarged. It has a permanent core and expanding periphery. It expands as the horizon of our vision grows. Nor are God's revelations confined to Israel. God has been the inspiration of the great and good among all families of the earth. God's love and guidance reach out to all the worlds. In a moment, we're going to continue with the Amidah on page 3, and I just want to draw our attention to the Givurot, which is the second prayer in our Amidah. And if you look down towards the bottom of the page, you'll see a few words in bold in that Givurot prayer. One of the changes in the season that is happening right now is we switch the words in the Givurot from Morid Hatal, which means thanking God who brings down the dew, to Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem, which means the God who brings on the wind, makes the wind blow, and who makes it rain. And so in this way, this is another way that we connect to our people. This is what they do in Israel. They pray for rain, they pray for dew, depending on the season. And so by marking our change in season, we're also connecting not only with the Jews who live in Israel today, but also with our ancestors who had these same prayers all the way back when. And we get to continue with these prayers, wishing, of course, healthy rain and only good storms for those in our area especially. So I wanted to point out that change. We'll be pointing it out the next few times because it's a little shift in season. So I invite everyone to rise in body or spirit for our Amidah on page 3.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'Konei Hakol Ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot U'Mevi Geulah Livnei Bneihem L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umito melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el
HaKadosh. Please be seated. Give me no gift of weapons, nor feelings of victory. I want no triumph. Let me fight but lose. Give me heroic stubbornness in love, unending heart, to give friendship without measure, to forgive without end. Only grant me strong, bright senses to bring happiness, to help, to hear the needs of even a pulse beat, the call of any person. We continue with a moment of our own personal prayers.
Oh, say shalom nimroma. Oh, say shalom aleinu. Le'al kol Yisrael. Imru, amen. Oh, say shalom nimroma.
Arrived at a very, very special moment, not only in tonight's service, but in really our entire year of being Jewish, which is our Torah service. And of course, tonight is very, very special. This is not going to be a Torah service like many of us have seen before. With the help of our ritual committee, we are going to be unrolling the Torah. But before we do that, here's the most important part, which is that it is our time, our moment to celebrate with this Torah, to celebrate being Jewish, to celebrate the fact that we are here, and as I mentioned at the beginning, to celebrate the fact that it is so special that we get to be carriers of this ancient and very special tradition. So what that's going to look like is, that's a preview of it. There's going to be some special music. Ed Mallow and our ritual chair, Michael Kaur, are going to come on up and help us get the Torahs out to the congregation. Our ritual committee members have flags that especially our TIR students should feel free to grab one, but everyone is welcome to grab one. And it's really a big party and a big celebration of the Torah. So we're going to have festive music and singing. We're going to have 2 of our Torahs coming out to the congregation. And if you would like to, please take it from someone and celebrate it. Hold it if you haven't held a Torah. Dance with it if you haven't danced. That's what happens when I mention things that are going to happen before they're actually happening. So we're going to get there in 2 seconds. I just want to make sure that everyone feels free to be a part of this celebration, to grab a Torah, to dance and to sing, to hold a Torah if you don't feel comfortable holding it on your own with someone else. And we're going to have a big Torah party, so let's get it started. Please rise.
Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Anna Adonai Hoshiana, Anna Adonai Hatzlichana, Anna Adonai Hanenu Biyom Koreinu.
So hopefully everyone has had a moment to grab the Torah and dance with it. We're still celebrating. We're not going to go back to our seats quite yet because we are about to unroll our Torah. As long as everyone has had a chance to touch it or hold it, we're going to begin in the back of the room, Mora Celeste. All the way at the back, you can find Lance. And we're going to invite everyone to kind of spread out around the back and the sides of the sanctuary, if you still have the energy after our dancing, because everyone is going to be helping and participating in unrolling the Torah.
Yep. That one can go back. Well, I don't know how far it's going to go, but we're starting it from the back. Because
we invite you to spread out all the way down the sides. Follow the directions of our ritual committee. Everyone is a part of holding our sacred Torah, of keeping our sacred tradition.
You may want to get a little closer this way. It's not going to go all the way around.
it's not as big as y'all think it is.
If it hits the floor, we all fast for 30 days.
You can come on in a little bit closer. It looks like we're doing this pretty efficiently.
Hair right where Fran is.
Okay.
We should have. Oh, good. So we're not holding it like a baby. Not holding it like a baby. You're holding it straight up. Can you hold it straight up? Not like a baby, but straight up. Like this crew? Like this crew? Can you hold it straight up? Be very careful.
I know,
I'm scared too. Actually, I'm not happy about this. Don't pull. Come in a little. Wait, I have a microphone. You
Hold
don't.
the Torah very gently.
Hey, everybody.
Please.
Wait, hold on. Let me stop this. Stop.
This is 10 Commandments.
Score. Okay. So, really important. We're not pulling. I don't want anyone pulling. Everyone move in 1 inch this way on this side. Cool. All humans move. Great. Gentle. We've got a tear. If you notice right over here, there's a little tear right at a seam. You didn't do it. It needs to be sewn together. And we want to make sure that we're not pulling and putting any stress on that seam. All right? So we're holding it straight. Can you hold it? I know it's hard. You can put your fingers on it. It's okay. There's no letters down there. Okay.
So this is a very, very special thing that we do once a year. So I invite everyone to, if there is a little tear near you, that's fine. One of the very awesome things about our Torah is that they are handmade and they are very delicate. So while they survive through the generations, we also know that sometimes there can be tears or other things, so we're holding the Torah gently. But notice that with the help of everyone here, we've managed to unscroll the history of our people. So if any TIR students want to follow along with me, I'm going to take us on a little tour of what happens in this scroll that we just unrolled. So you're welcome to come right on over here with me. This is the beginning. I'm over here. I'm not in my usual spot, I know. It looks weird from over here. Okay. So I'm going to take my yad, which is what we read the Torah with, and I'm going to follow us through the story of our people. Jacob and Shelby are some helpers for me. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the very beginning of the Torah, and we'll be reading from that soon. But in the beginning, as all traditions go, or most traditions, God creates heavens and earth, and there was nothing there. It was chaos. But God makes something from the darkness and the wind and the chaos. Something happens, and you can see that something keep going. So we have the creation of the world, of the plants and the trees and the animals and the water, and finally us humans, and God rests. It's very important. Then we go into the story of Noah. People weren't so good. There's a flood. Humanity kind of gets erased a little bit, but then God makes an agreement with us, a covenant, a sacred partnership that God will never destroy us again. And so we get into the stories of our ancestors, our matriarchs and patriarchs, Abraham and Sarah, and Jacob and Esau, and all of those people whose names that we say in our prayers every week. Their story is told here in the Torah. You're good. And we get into our Avot Va'imahot. And then finally, of course, Jacob has all his children. That's a Jacob too, right there. Jacob has many, many children, and they will soon be the tribes of Israel. But we have Joseph, and Joseph gets sold into slavery and comes down to Egypt. Come on over, guys. You can stay with me. We're still moving. Joseph goes down to Egypt. So, of course, we end up in Egypt, which is where the book of Genesis ends. I don't think I've quite gotten down to Exodus yet. We're moving through the Torah. These are all the stories of our ancestors right here for everyone to see. And here is where the book of Exodus starts, somewhere around here. And we are in Egypt, and we are enslaved. So this is where the slaves happen. This is where the story of Passover happens. And God finally says, you know what, I'm going to save this people from slavery. I kind of like them. So God brings down plagues, right? The 10 plagues we know. And finally, Pharaoh lets our people go, and we leave. And right here is a very special part of the Torah. Do you see how it looks different? This is called the Song of the Sea. And this is what we sing when we get to freedom. And the Micha Mocha that we sing every week, that's right here in the Torah. So it's pretty cool. A lot of our prayers come right from here. So we sing Micha Mocha and we're free. And then we spend a lot of time in the desert. All the rest of the scroll, we're wandering in the wilderness. So that's a long, long time. So here's the 10 Commandments. Do you see how this looks different too? Yeah, so this is the 10 Commandments where we get the very foundational aspects of being a people. And we're still in the desert and we're still wandering around, and God is telling us a lot of different things to do, lots of rules and laws and values about what we're going to do once we get into Israel, into the promised land. How are we going to be a people? And we have a future bat mitzvah right here, very special, holding up our Torah. Hey, Ann. And so we're still in the wilderness, and here is the book of Leviticus right here. So we're now getting into halfway through the Torah, and Leviticus is full of more rules and laws. We've made a tabernacle. Everyone in the desert has been bringing all of their gifts and all of their special values to be a people. And so we've all come together here in the book of Leviticus, and we're getting more rules and laws from God. How do we treat each other? How do we be good people? What are we going to do once we get to the land of Israel? What does it mean to be Jewish? A lot of our holidays are mentioned for the first time in the book of Leviticus, and your parents are right there holding it up for you. And we're getting more rules and laws and other things to do. There's a lot of rules and laws from God and your parents. Exactly. And so we have more special print there. Yeah, more 10 Commandments. And so then we're going, there's still more rules and laws. We're in the wilderness. We're beginning to think about what our society is going to look like. We're beginning to be able to defend ourselves against people in the desert. And here we are in the book of Numbers. You see how there's a big space right there? That's the book of Numbers, where that starts. And in the book of Numbers, we're thinking about our future as a people. Joshua is appointed leader. We scout out the land. We're beginning to think about what life is going to to actually be like after we are in the desert. Here is the special blessing, the Yivarechecha, right here where Bob is, where we bless everyone on special occasions, the priestly benediction. That comes from right here in the book of Numbers. And blessing means that we are thinking about our future, that we're thinking about what we do and who we are and how we act. And that's really what we're doing as we get towards the end of the book of Numbers, Bamidbar, is thinking about that we are free now. We're not slaves anymore. We can make our own choices. We can do our own thing. We have the power to create holy communities like this one right here at the temple. And so we're still getting more rules and laws from God, how to be a good person. Thank you, Dylan Hirsch, for following how to be a good person. We love you. We have another future bar mitzvah student here, Micah, who will be chanting from somewhere over there in a few months. And here we are, finally, the very last book of the Torah right here, Deuteronomy. And Deuteronomy basically says everything that's been said already, so I don't have to recap it a lot for you. Here's the 10 Commandments again. You see how it looks different? And this is just, a lot of remembering. A lot of remembering who we are, what we're going to do, and thinking about who we're going to be. And Moses is preparing to say goodbye to the people. And so we get all the way now to where Canterbury is, and part of Simchat Torah is we're going to finish the Torah all together as a community, and then we're going to start it over again. That's what this holiday celebrates, because the story's not over. It's written down in the scroll, but we're also renewing creation every single day, and that's really, really special. So we continue to learn, and thank you, Jacob and Shelby, for walking through the Torah with me. Jacob and Shelby are just two of our next generation who are keeping the Torah alive and celebrating it with us, and that's really, really exciting. So we're so glad that you're here, and Cantor is now going to chant the very last words of the Torah.
When I finish chanting the words of the Torah, we're going to recite a few words together. The words are going to be chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, and let us strengthen each other. The melody is chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek when we get there.
So let's all join together in our blessing. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Umoshe ben mea ve'esrim shana b'moto lecha ata'eno v'lo nas lecho vayivku b'nei Yisrael et Moshe be'arvaot Moab 30 yom vayotmu yemei v'chei evel Moshe v'Hoshua bin Nun malei ruach chochma ki samach Moshe et yadav alav v'yishmiu elav b'nei Yisrael v'yasu ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe v'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael ki Moshe asher yada'o Adonai panim el panim lechol ha'otot v'hamoftim asher shalacho Adonai lasot be'eretz Mitzrayim lefaro ulechol avadav ulechol artso ulechol hayad hachazaka ulechol hamora hagadol asher hasa Moshe le'enei chol Yisrael.
Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek.
Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were undimmed and his vigor unabated. And the Israelites bewailed Moses in the steppes of Moab for 30 days. The period of wailing and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands upon him. And the Israelites heeded him, doing as the Lord had commanded Moses. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom the Lord singled out face to face. for the various signs and portents that the Lord sent him to display in the land of Egypt, against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all Israel.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Ve'haaretz hayta tohu vavohu ve'choshech al pnei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim. Vayomer Elohim yehi or vayehi or. Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov ve'yavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachoshech vayikra Elohim laor yom ve'lachoshech kara laila vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was chaotic, unformed, and void, and darkness covered the face of the waters. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the water. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God cast God's Spirit out with the light and divided darkness. And God called the light day and the darkness night. And it was evening, and there was morning the first day. Let's join together in our blessing after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. We are now going to roll up our Torah and sing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'eheyanu v'kimanu v'hiyanu b'zman hazeh.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Thank you to Michael Kaur and to Ed Mallow and to our ritual committee. Thank you to all of you for being here. Tomorrow morning we have our last service of this holiday season for Simchat Torah. It's at 10 a.m., a festive service with Yiskor. So if you're remembering someone, you could join us in person or on streaming. And we are going to conclude our service tonight with another festive song celebrating our Torah.
It's right at the back of your packet, the last thing right there. Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe.
Chag Sameach!